You've been told to eat healthy, avoid junk food, and fill your plate with fruits, whole grains, yogurt, smoothies, and low-fat snacks, because that's the key to losing weight, right? But what if I told you that some of these so-called healthy foods are secretly sabotaging your fat loss goals, slowing down your metabolism, and triggering hunger and cravings that make you eat more instead of less? Let's face it, you're doing your best. You read labels, you avoid soda, you say no to dessert, and you follow the rules. But the weight just won't budge. Or worse, it creeps back after every diet. You start to wonder if it's your willpower, your hormones, your genetics. But the truth is, it's none of that. The truth is, the food industry has been lying to you, and it's not your fault. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on the foods that wear a healthy mask, but are actually keeping you stuck, tired, and frustrated. And don't worry, this isn't another lecture. This is the truth. No one tells you. Raw, real, and maybe a little shocking, because once you understand which foods are secretly working against you, and why, you'll finally have the power to take control of your body, your hunger, and your results. And by the way, stick with me till the end, because I'll also share some powerful tips that will help you turn things around fast without giving up taste, pleasure, or your favorite meals. Now, let's start with a big one low-fat flavored yogurt. Sounds healthy, right? Packed with protein and probiotics. But most of those convenient little cups are loaded with sugar, artificial sweeteners, and even modified starches that spike your insulin and lead to fat storage. The worst part? They're so processed that your gut doesn't benefit the way you think it does. Instead of feeding your microbiome, you're feeding inflammation. And inflammation is the silent saboteur of fat loss. It slows your metabolism, drains your energy, and makes you feel bloated no matter how clean you eat. Then there's granola, the poster child of health food marketing. Crunchy, hearty, natural, but a single serving often packs more calories and sugar than a candy bar, especially if it's baked in honey or mixed with dried fruits and oils. You think you're being good, but you're unknowingly eating a dessert for breakfast. Next up, whole grain bread. Yes, even the brown one. While it might sound like a better choice than white bread, most commercial whole grain breads are ultra-processed, high in gluten, and raise your blood sugar nearly as fast as a soda. That spike, it's followed by a crash, which leads to, you guessed, eat more hunger. And then we have the so-called healthy oils. Vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil. They're marketed as heart-friendly, but they're actually high in omega-6 fatty acids that create inflammation. When not balanced with omega-3, these oils are everywhere. Salad dressings, baked goods, roasted veggies, even your favorite fitness bars. You're doing your best to avoid trans fats, but these oils are sneaking in under a different disguise. And how about fruit smoothies? You throw in bananas, mango, orange juice, a splash of almond milk, and bam! It tastes great and feels virtuous. But what you've just made is a sugar bomb. Liquid sugar spikes insulin even faster than solid food. And without the fiber from the whole fruits, your body gets flooded with glucose, which then gets stored as fat if you're not burning it off. Even the protein powders added to smoothies are often full of artificial ingredients, gums, and sweeteners that mess with your gut health. Let's talk gluten-free snacks. Many people avoid gluten, thinking it's healthier, and for some, it is. But the gluten-free cookies, crackers, and chips lining store shelves are often just as bad, if not worse, than the originals. They're made with refined starches like potato or tapioca flour, and loaded with sugar and fat to make up for the missing texture. Result, you eat more of them, thinking they're healthier. Then there's agave nectar, marketed as a natural alternative to sugar. But it's extremely high in fructose, which doesn't spike blood sugar directly, but goes straight to the liver and gets turned into fat. Over time, high fructose intake leads to insulin resistance, belly fat, and even fatty liver disease. It's a silent destroyer hiding behind a natural label. Don't even get me started on energy bars, those things that promise performance, recovery, or weight control. Most of them are glorified candy bars wrapped in fitness branding. Check the labels. Sugar, alcohols, processed whey, soy, isolates, and weird additives that have zero business being called healthy. Your body knows the difference, and it reacts accordingly with bloating, cravings, and fat storage. Even dried fruits, like dates, raisins, and cranberries, seem healthy but are often coated with extra sugar and lack the water and volume of whole fruits, making them calorie-dense and easy to overeat. And how about salads? Yes, even salads can backfire when drenched in store-bought dressings, topped with croutons, bacon bits, and candied nuts. You think you're choosing the light option, but you might be consuming more calories than a burger. The problem isn't the salad, it's the stuff added to make it taste good. But don't worry, this isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Because when you understand how marketing misleads us, you stop blaming yourself and start making real progress. And if you've ever felt like you're eating right but getting nowhere, this is your turning point. In the next part, I'll show you what to eat instead, foods that actually help you burn fat, balance hormones, and feel full without depriving yourself. And remember, if any of this is hitting home, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What foods have surprised you? What are your biggest frustrations when it comes to eating healthy and still gaining weight? Let's turn this into a real conversation, because you're not alone, and your story matters. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got so much more truth coming your way, unfiltered, empowering, and practical. Your health journey deserves clarity, not confusion, and that's exactly what you'll get here. You might think you're making all the right choices swapping soda for smoothies, eating granola with low-fat yogurt, loading up on whole wheat bread, snacking on dried fruits, and buying products with organic or natural labels. But what if I told you that many of these foods are secretly working against your weight loss goals? Lose weight naturally and feel amazing without counting calories or starving yourself. There's a smarter path waiting for you. Thousands of people have already transformed their lives with a clean, nutrient-rich approach that actually works. Curious? Tap the link in the description and see for yourself. Your wellness journey starts today. And it's easier than you think. It's not your fault. The food industry is designed to mislead you with buzzwords and front label claims that hide the real nutritional truth. Let's start with something simple. Smoothies. Marketed as a health food, many store-bought smoothies are loaded with sugar, sometimes more than a can of soda. They're calorie bombs in disguise. Even homemade smoothies, if overloaded with fruits, sweetened nut milks, or protein powders, can cause a massive insulin spike that leads to fat storage rather than fat burning. And then there's granola, the so-called health champion of breakfast. A single serving often contains 400 to 500 calories, with high levels of sugar, honey, or maple syrup. Most people eat 2 to 3 servings in one go without realizing it. Pair that with flavored low-fat yogurt, which strips out fat and replaces it with sugar for taste, and you've got a morning sugar crash waiting to happen. What about whole wheat bread? You've probably heard it's better than white bread, but that doesn't mean it's good. Most commercial whole wheat breads contain enriched flour, which is still highly processed and spikes your blood sugar. Plus, bread is incredibly easy to overeat, and 2 slices can have more sugar and calories than a candy bar, especially if you're adding processed spreads. Now, let's talk about dried fruits. Unlike fresh fruits, which contain water and fiber to fill you up, dried fruits are concentrated sugar bombs. A small handful of raisins can contain more sugar than a donut, and they don't offer the same satiety as their fresh counterparts. The worst part, because they're small and marketed as healthy, people eat them mindlessly, thinking they're doing something good. And don't get me started on energy bars. Most of them are just glorified candy bars wrapped in fit branding, with ingredients like corn syrup, artificial flavors, and hydrogenated oils. They spike your blood sugar, crash your energy, and leave you craving more food within an hour. Another common trap: salads drowned in dressings. While a bowl of leafy greens sounds healthy, once you add processed dressings, bacon bits, cheese, croutons, and candied nuts, your salad can hit 800 to 1,200 calories more than a burger and fries. And then there's the deception of gluten-free and vegan snacks. These labels do not mean healthy. Gluten-free cookies are still cookies. Vegan chips are still chips. In many cases, these versions are even more processed to make up for the lack of traditional ingredients. Let's not forget fruit juices. Orange juice, apple juice, even cold-pressed juices. Most are stripped of fiber and deliver a straight hit of fructose to your liver, promoting fat gain, especially around the belly. A single glass of apple juice can contain the sugar of 3 to 4 apples without any of the fiber to slow absorption. Even innocent-sounding options like almond milk or oat milk can be filled with additives, gums, and sweeteners. It's not about demonizing food, it's about understanding what you're putting into your body and how it affects your metabolism. Your body was designed to process whole, unrefined foods, things that grow from the ground, things you can hunt or gather, things with one ingredient. But the modern food environment has rewired your brain with hyperpalatable combinations of sugar, fat, and salt, engineered to override your natural hunger signals. That's why it's so hard to stop after one serving. That's why you feel full, but still crave more. That's why, even when you eat healthy, you can't seem to lose the weight. It's not that you're broken. It's not that you lack willpower. It's that your biology is being hijacked every day by cleverly marketed, industrially produced foods designed to make you fat and keep you coming back for more. If you really want to lose weight and feel better, you need to unlearn the lies you've been told about what healthy eating looks like. You need to return to the basics. Whole vegetables, clean proteins, healthy fats, and mindful portions. Cook your food. Read the labels. Know that just because something is sold in a health food aisle doesn't mean it's helping you. This is your chance to reset your relationship with food and finally understand why your previous attempts to lose weight may have failed. Knowledge is power, and now you have it. And if you're tired of being misled by so-called healthy foods and want a simple, effective way to reset your body, lose weight naturally, and feel amazing without counting calories or starving yourself, there's a smarter path waiting for you. Thousands of people have already transformed their lives with a clean, nutrient-rich approach that actually works. Curious? Tap the link in the description and see for yourself. Your wellness journey starts today, and it's easier than you think.